Welcome to this edition of Eagle's Eye. I'm your host, Stephen Struckmann. Today I am joined by Director of Bands here at Ashland University, Professor Joe Lewis. Mr. Lewis, thank you so much for joining me here today.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Mr. Lewis, before we begin about your time here, what got you into music and what was the moment that you went, I want to do this, not just as a student, but for the rest of my life as a teacher?
Well, I got into music like many people in the bands here. In 5th grade, started playing the trombone. Was always interested in music even as a kid. I grew up with parents that loved music, and we listened to music a lot at home. And that just developed into wanting to join the school band where I was at the time, and practiced, got good at it. And as I got into high school, joined more honor bands, did more outside ensembles outside of our school, and just enjoyed what I was doing. Had a great band director in high school. Was really inspired by him as well, and because of that decided to go study music in college. And while I was at Ohio State, worked with wonderful band directors, orchestra directors, conductors, and really just loved being a part of music, jazz ensembles, orchestra, wind ensemble, all the like, and knew that was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life and be able to inspire young musicians to do the same thing.
Awesome. Could you describe your position here at Ashland University and what brought you here to little old Ashland?
So I'm the director of bands here, so I direct the symphonic band, the marching band, the pep band, and also help with music education classes as needed, mentor and advise music education majors here. Also do much of the recruiting for the department to bring majors and participants and minors into the program, all three of which we offer here at AU. We offer our Bachelor of Music Education and our BA in music here, along with minors, and also offer scholarships for students that want to just participate in the ensembles. So that's what I do here at AU. I came here, I was looking for a job and wanted to teach music at the collegiate level, and was blessed to get a phone call from Dr. Tom Reed and interviewed, and started working here as the director of bands.
Now, I understand that you have some dealings with the armed forces, and particularly the Army Band. Can you take us through that portion of your life, like how'd you get into that, and what's your current position there, stuff like that?
Sure. So I've been involved with the 122nd Army Band basically since the end of high school. I enlisted in June of 2000 into the Army Band. I had auditioned in May that year and made it into that ensemble. Left on Memorial Day of 2000, or Labor Day of 2000, in fact, to go to basic training. Did all that, and then while I was going to college and undergrad, I went to drill just like anybody else, and have been involved with the band since then, and have been the commander since February of 2015. But here in about a little over a week, I will be turning over the command of the unit to the next person and be fully retired from the Army Band with 22 years in August 1st.
Wow. So as a commander, does that mean that you are kind of directing it, or that's what the main position is the director?
It is. The commander is, you could think of it like kind of a CEO of a band organization. Mm-hmm. I can conduct if I want to, which I choose to for the concert band and the jazz ensemble, but I also have smaller team leaders that work with, like our rock band, our large popular music ensemble, brass quintet, and other smaller groups within the band. Basically, my job is to basically manage that as a whole. So I provide the vision and the direction, how I want the unit to go, and then my team helps make that happen.
So recently, the Army Band has been called into service where you had to, as a sense, run away from this position here to fulfill your duties with the Army Band. Can you take us through that? Sure.
We were activated starting on January 5th. And it's the first time the band has been activated since World War II. So this was all brand new territory for me and my team. We hadn't been activated for anything since World War II, and there's been, obviously many things have happened nationally and state level since then. But it was time for the band to serve, and we were called to go out into hospitals or run COVID testing sites, or basically just assist with the whole effort with COVID at the beginning of this calendar year. And so my particular team, the band was not sent out as one whole unit. We were actually broken up into teams based on our location, our home of record. And so our team that I was with was soldiers from many other units that we all came together, and we started off with a COVID testing site in Stark County for a couple of weeks. and then we were moved down to a hospital in New Philadelphia, and just basically assisted with their operations down there for a little while. And then once all the cases started to drop off, the need for the National Guard dropped off as well, and then we were taken off active duty orders after that.
Very cool. One more question for you here. What are some of the things that you're working on currently, both with the Ashland University Concert Band as well as the Ashland Area Community Band? And can you tell us when the next concert will be?
Yeah, so our next concert is both the symphonic band and the community band together, which is traditional. That's going to be on April 29th at 7:30. That's a Friday in Hugo Young Theater. So tickets are free and it's open to the public. We'd love to have as many people come to the concert as we can. The symphonic band is working on a piece by Johann de May called Symphony No. 1, also known as Lord of the Rings. And this was a symphony written based off the books. This was done in 1988 was when it was completed. It actually took him about 4 years to write the piece. It's a 5-movement piece, each movement obviously depicting some character or event that happens in the book. It is not the soundtrack. So this was actually done before the movie was ever made. And it's a beautiful piece of music. Johann de May is a widely known composer and is also a trombonist. But this piece is probably his most performed and most recognized piece among band literature. And so it's really a professional level piece of music, and the symphonic band is going to perform 4 of the 5 movements in this work. And I'm really excited about how well the students are playing it and how well they're going to perform it. I think it's going to be a really fantastic concert. Also doing some more Renaissance dance music. So if you remember our concert in March, we did a couple of movements of a piece called The Dancery, which is Renaissance era 15th, 16th century music written for band. And we did a couple of movements out of that. That's a 9-movement work. We're not going to do the whole thing, but we've got a couple other new movements out of that we're going to do as well. So the symphonic band has a lot of great literature they're working on. Community band, we've got a number of things that we're cooking up. I've got some Hollywood music coming. I've got a couple of traditional marches in there. Beautiful chorale, Amazing Grace. Spiritual that Kelly did was a really fantastic arrangement that he did of that piece. And then I've got a couple of band directors in the group. There's a number of band directors in the community band. And originally, to tie it all back in, originally when we were deployed with the National Guard, I had asked some of the band directors in the group to pick a piece to do basically a band director feature, since I wasn't going to be able to rehearse the community band, or so we thought. And so I had some band directors ready to do that. And I thought, well, even though I'm coming back early, I think it'd be a great idea to do that. So we're going to ask Sean DeLong of Ontario, Rachel Koval of Plymouth, and Hannah Wolf of Crestview, each to do a piece on that program, and I'll be doing a couple of pieces as well. So they've each chosen their literature that they wanted to do, and I think it's going to be really neat to feature some of the band directors in our group.
Well, that's very cool. I'll definitely be there. We hope you folks will be there as well. Mr. Lewis, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been another edition of Eagle's Eye. Be sure to follow us across all social media at AUTV20. I'm Stephen Struckmann. Thank you so much for watching.